Hello and welcome back to Railroads Online. We're back in our usual spot here because we've got a little bit of a job to do. Now, we're pretty well done with the build episodes for a while, so at least in terms of track laying, we are finished. So, we're going to be doing some running sessions for a while, and the very first thing that we need to do, if you can see it in the distance, is we have a whole lot of cargo loaded, ready to go, that we need to sort into trains. So we will uh, we will be doing that. We're going to be sorting all of this, all the loaded coal train, or excuse me, we'll be sorting all of the loaded coal cars and all of the loaded stake cars into their own trains today, and quite possibly even running a few trains. I know we've got some coal and lumber that needs to go up to the oil field. We've got coal that needs to be delivered to the coal tower here for the locomotive works, and we've got some beams that need to be delivered. We've already got 17 of them. That was just some overflow that I had um, as I was preparing everything offline. And we've got coal that needs to come over here to the meat packing plant. So we're actually going to run a rake of 10 over there because, well, we might just do two trains for up there because we also need to have some come up here um, for our locomotive facilities up here at the top station. Uh, Come on, computer. There we go. We don't need anything up here at the cattle farm, but we do need coal over here at the smelter. We don't actually need to deliver it to the smelter, but we have a coaling tower over here at the smelter, and I don't think we've got one over here. No, we do not. Okay, so we've got we've got lumber that's going up to the iron ore mine, and the smelter is already ready to go with 25 cars full of cordwood, so we don't need to worry about that. And then over here at the come on, computer, at the coal mine and the ironworks, we need to deliver some coal here, mostly for the ironworks, but also for the coal tower. And we've got some lumber that needs to be delivered here as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do most of the sorting with Lucky. So let's go ahead and get the turntable moved around, and we're going to bring Lucky out and get everything sorted, hopefully fairly soon, and or in fairly short order. And if we have the ability here, we'll even run a couple of trains. Now, where they're going to be going, I don't know. We'll probably run one up. Uh, we'll probably run one up the new branch line to the refinery, or the oil wells rather, or both. I don't know. We might run a train up to both. But for now, we have a whole lot of yard work to do. So as soon as I get Lucky rolling here, I do have some thoughts to share regarding the remainder of this season. We are getting pretty close to having this map finished. I've got a few places that need to be built out scenery wise. Uh, So those may end up being build episodes in and of themselves. However, I doubt it very highly, because mostly it's just uh, housing, the buildings and whatnot, and the decorations therein. Other than that, I think it's just going to be running episodes. I think that once we get everything taken care of in terms of what we want to have happen uh, for setting these trains up, we're going to start building smaller trains and running them up and down the mountain, as well as up and down the switchbacks at the refinery, as well as over here past the forestry. We'll be, I think for this map, we'll be buying a few more locomotives to kind of fill our locomotive sheds and roundhouses. And we'll be buying more rolling stock. I've noticed that we have a deficit of certain cars now. And one of our biggest goals that's going to be for the remainder of this season is buying more. We're going to be buying more oil tankers. We're going to be getting both the coffin tankers and the standard round body tankers. You know, the very run of the mill. You've seen them. You've seen one. You've seen them all. Type of tanker. I've got a few of the coffin tankers already, and kind of on a tangent here. Pardon my voice. I just got done recording the Wonders of Sodor and Bumpy Ride episodes for this week, so you'll see those tomorrow on Wednesday. But like I was getting ready to say, I've already got a few of the coffin tankers. I think I've got 8 or 9 of them right now, and by the end of this episode, if we can run a couple of trains, we will have a few more. They are the tankers, I think, are the most expensive cars in this game. The most expensive pieces of rolling stock. So that's just going to be what it's going to be. We're going to put this train. This is going to be our 10-car coal train. We're going to put this up here on line 3, I think it is. Unless I've got the evens. Yeah, it's going to be line 3. So we've got line 1, 3, and 5 on this side, 2, 4, and 6 on that side with a bypass, or excuse me, with a through line in the middle for pulling cars directly out of storage, which we can do if we need to. So once this train is completely built, I will come back and light up this caboose, signal that it's ready. I'm not going to do that right now, mainly because we don't need to. It's not quite ready, and we're going to have to get out again anyway and uncouple the coal cars. So in total, we've actually got 15. We've got 15 coal cars going up the line to the middle and top stations. Now, we've got 50 in total, so that accounts for almost half of our total stock. But I think that'll be okay. Now, I'm not going to pick up those coal cars immediately. I'm actually going to go and get another caboose so that we can pick up the coal cars all at once. We'll pick up those 15 all at once, and we'll do it that way. But yeah, we're gonna be getting some more rolling stock. We're definitely gonna be getting a few more locomotives. And actually, I got to thinking about it just now, so bear with me. Speaking of locomotives, we're actually going to get two of the articulateds. We're going to have one down here in the valley, and we're going to have one living up at the smelter. And the reason we're going to have one down here in the valley, if you remember the episode Toothpick Limited, um, yeah, we're going to have long trains like that. We're definitely going to end up having long trains like that, even though that was not the initial goal. Engelbrook is talking to us. Um, Even though that was not the initial goal, we are going to have. Um, Oops, bonk. I think it was backed up further toward that bumper stop than I thought it was. Um, we are going to have longer trains. So we're just going to have to make do with that. And in order to make do with that, we're going to bring another articulated down into this roundhouse right here, so that we can take the log trains if Kaiser isn't up to making multiple runs. That at that point we can just take one long log train down and um, run it that way, and we can take 20, 30, 40 car or taller or longer, excuse me, trains up the mountain to the various industries that we've got to service along the way. But for the most part, we want to have um, these shorter trains so that these shorter or smaller locomotives can handle them. This caboose here is going on line 1, and just like before, we're gonna disconnect and go and pick up the coal cars before we light this one up. We're gonna light these up afterwards, so that it's clear that they are ready to go. This train here is this current train here of the boxcars. It is loaded and ready to go up the mountain. This is just basically an episode of prep work. Um, if we have time, we'll run a couple of trains up and down the line. If we don't have time, this is just going to be an episode of prep work. We're just going to be building up the trains for the runs up and down the lines. But yeah, that that train of boxcars is in fact ready to go. Um, I'll be bringing Clyde down to pick these trains up, and I think Pete is going to go and spend some time over at the refinery, so that we have a geared locomotive for those switchbacks, and we don't have to worry too terribly much about the conventional locomotives not having the power to make it up that hill. Even though it's only a 1% grade, and everything uh, more powerful than the Montezuma should be able to make it up. I've had trouble with Lucky on the high lines, so I'm hedging my bets. Uh, Lucky was in season 1. Lucky was up on the high line for a very brief amount of time, and I've got a 1.5 or a 2% grade up there, and I'm not gonna mess with that on the switchbacks over there at the refinery. So we'll have Pete over there for a while. It seems to be a fairly good spot for him. So we've got 4 coal cars right here. I'm just going to grab those. So we got 4 of our 15. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've got 4 of our 15 that are going up. And we've got, I'm just going to go into fly mode real quick and break reality here. We've got 2 lines of cars that go all the way back. That's all I had time to prep for this week. But I had to do a whole lot to prep for this episode beyond just filling up these coal cars. And believe it or not, the coal mine has still got quite a bit of product, so we can refill these. We can refill quite a few of these coal cars, and I think by the end of this, we're actually going to have about 100 coal cars total, so that we've got coal cars just basically everywhere, because there's so much industry that needs coal. There's so many of these coal towers that need to be filled, and they all take about 150, or not 150, they take 750 just to fill the actual reservoir for the main tipple. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pick up the rest of our cars here, which are going to be 11 total, off of this line, off of line 1, which is all coal cars. There's nothing on that line except coal cars. So we're going to pick up another 11 off of there and go and put them on those 2 trains. And we'll start building the rest of the trains for the northbound traffic. And if we have enough, we will leave 5 here for this coal tipple right here. All right, so let's go and figure out what we need. So let's not do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right. So there's our 15 cars. And we're going to go and build our first 2 trains. Assuming I can get there sometime today. Let's see. Longer these trains get, the longer it takes to get back to the locomotive. But we found that out in season 1. Okay, so let's double count here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. And we'll just ride this one back. We're going to have to stop for this switch anyway. We're going to stay on the switchback line so that we stay off the main line. That's how it should be. If I had built this line differently, that main line would not even be an issue. Main line actually would not have come this far south. But that's okay. I don't think we're really gonna worry too much about what we're doing right now. All right, so we're gonna start with line 2, or line 3, excuse me. And we'll build longest to shortest. I went the wrong direction there. Okay. So we're going to put 10 cars on line 3, come out and put the remaining 5 on line 1. So yeah, this is hopefully, if I can get this map opened up to multiplayer this year, and I can get some really decent groups together, you know, more than 2 people. More than 2, less than 50. We can have a system where we're building trains ready for other engineers to go out and deliver them. but that remains to be seen. And you know, that's really not too far off. I went around the wrong side here. There we go. All right. So we will actually start back here at the uh, caboose. We'll light the caboose up, and then we will uncouple where we need to uncouple. So we're going to come back here. There we go. There we go. And we'll do that for the next one. There we go. Whoops. We want red on that. There we go. So we want 10 cars. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Which should leave us with 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. But yeah, if I can get multiplayer going, and I can count these from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. If I can get multiplayer going on this map, it'll be after season 2, of course. It'll be after the end of this season. But it'll be hopefully before the end of the year. I've definitely got some scenery to add to this map before it's really officially finished, and you guys will see that build up over the next few episodes as I finish up the map. But if I can get multiplayer open within a realistic amount of time, we will probably have somebody stay down here in the yard in a coordinated effort. Of course, we'll have somebody stay down here in the yard. We'll have somebody running a regular service to and from the sawmill and the forestry. We'll probably have a couple of people running the switchbacks, and a couple people running up and down the mountain line. And that's not the feline. That is the track itself, the mountain line, not the mountain lion. My pronunciations aren't so bad yet that could be confused easily. I'm not sure how that'll play out in 20 years, but you know, that is what it is. And we'll have somebody, I think, running the ore up and down the line for the smelter. And that'll pretty well take care of things. We may have even a couple people running the gravity lines or doing double duty and running the short line between the coal mine and the ironworks, because that's a whole yard complex in and of itself. And yeah, I mean, it could be just about anything. But we will see when that time comes. So we have our 3 trains built that are ready to go up the switchbacks. The boxcars, like I said, that was put together a long time ago. We do need to get some more skeleton cars, I think, for Kaiser. And we're going to be getting a twin for him later on. But for now, I want to actually turn Lucky around. No, I do not. No, I do not. Okay. Yeah, because we've got the caboose run around. Sorry, I'm trying to think about what I'm doing here. And we are actually going to put these trains on the we're not going to put them on the through sidings here at the depot. We're going to be putting them on the outbound dead sidings. We're gonna utilize those far more than we're utilizing the through sidings here at the depot and the station. Uh, but I was just trying to figure out what I needed to do first and foremost to start putting these trains together. And I am not going to pull multiple cabooses. We're going to have to do that one at a time. If you remember in a previous episode this season, we had a lot of issues with these cabooses interfering with each other. So we will run them separately. Oops, I didn't connect. Thought I did. So let's see. There we go. All right, I don't want to run two of them, so we'll just do one now, and we'll run around it. And we'll start pulling coal cars from the opposite end, and we'll pull them back toward that end as we pick them up. And these are going to be mixed goods, and we're going to figure out how we want to do these. We're going to figure out how we want to put these together as we go, because we do have multiple stops with different cargoes. So I will look at the map once we drop this caboose off where we want it, and I will get the first train put together here as the sun is down, and I will get back with you once that's all taken. Once that's all taken care of. It helps if I go the right direction. So for now, I will be right back. Alrighty, it looks like the sun's starting to come back up, so I can start back in again. Start back in with my incessant ramblings. I'm still working on putting together the putting the cabooses in line, I should say. It looks like we need 4 or 5 trains, so we're going to be putting that. Ah, nuts. Okay, so I'll take this opportunity here to show you what we need here. So we've got 2 coal trains ready to go up the hill. So we need one up here and one right over here at our main top station depot here. So that's 2. So that's that lot. The switchback's taken care of. Now we need 1 train going to the oil field. We actually do need one for over here, but I'm not going to do that right now. And we need 1 for the refinery, which we actually need it for the facility down on the lower portion of that short line. We need 1 here for the ironworks. We don't technically need another one right now because I've got this coal tower already filled with 100 units, and we'll have 5 units per train. But this area here, there's going to be 1 train made for this area and the smelter. So we're going to have 10 cars going for that train. We're going to have 5 going for over here. But yeah, we've got a couple 3 trains that we need to build. For it, in terms of the coal, it's going to be uh, 1 train running up there and coming back down. I'm going to try and make mixed goods. We'll see how well that works out. But we'll see how it all plays. Okay, so this caboose actually has its brakes on, so I'm going to drag it a little further, and when I uncouple it, I will I'll turn its brakes off. So let's go ahead and take the brakes off. I did not realize it had its brakes on when we coupled up to it. So we will do that. And we'll get a quick run around here. Let's get our switches set. Zoom back in here so we can actually see what we're doing. Here we go. There we go. All right. Getting back up here. I probably would have had a little bit more done. I probably would have had a little bit more done had I not derailed Lucky once again. This time it was my fault. I had a switch set that I thought was right and it wasn't, and it was a 3-way switch, and we know they don't change automatically, and I ran him into it and everything just went flying. But it is set right now for this bypass, so we don't need to worry about it, and I will set it when we start picking up other cars. I will set it correctly for that. That's why I'm doing the cabooses now. And like I said, I am not going to I'm not going to deal with them I'm not going to deal with trying to run multiple cabooses at the same time. They seem to have a major problem running together. So we're just going to run them one at a time. And if I need more than 3, I will I'll take care of that and get back with you guys when I get that finished up, when we start putting together the coal cars, or the coal trains and the mixed goods trains. Actually, I think these might all be mixed goods. I don't know yet. I do know that we need, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I do know that we need some lumber going over here to the refinery and to the oil well. We need a different type of lumber. So that may be mixed goods as well. We'll see. But we'll see how that rolls out. It may end up being that all these trains are mixed goods, and that we run 3 different trains or 4 different trains. I don't know yet. But we're going to start just by putting the cabooses in the sidings that we need to have. So I'm thinking right now, I'm trying to decide what I want to do here, because we do need to build up these trains, and I think I am thinking that we're going to run a train for the oil field. We're going to run a specific train for that. We're going to run a specific train for the refinery, and probably for the ironworks and points north. So I'm thinking probably 3 trains total. Maybe 4 because we've also got some lumber that needs to go up to the iron ore mine to reload it. That said, we have a massive amount of iron ore that we need to take up to the oops, don't want that. We have a massive amount of iron ore that we need to take up to the smelter. So we're going to end up doing that too. We're going to get that set up. Probably not today, but soon. And we're going to be taking more empties up there. We've got plenty of them. So I may even put that into a train. And we'll see how we do. So I'm going to go grab... Yeah, I think we are going to put those into trains as well. I'm going to go grab a couple of more cabooses, and I will be back. Alrighty, I am back, and we are going to actually do something a little bit different than I originally thought. And we're going to be putting together a couple of more trains than what I thought we were going to. We're going to set the rest of the empty ore cars into a train by themselves, and whatever extra we've got from the lumber that we've got sitting over there, we'll put that into another train, and we'll haul that up the line at a different time for the iron ore mine. Now, that was a heck of a rhyme. I just realized that. Now, we are going to be building these trains either way we look at it, and there's no real necessity. All the lumber that we're going to be putting on these trains is all going to the same place as the coal. So we can just kind of put them together any way that we want. So let's take a look after we get this after we get these empties put on to the first train here. Let's take a look at. Let's see, those are the flat cars. Okay. So I want line, I think. Whatever line it is, that's the one I want right there. So after we get those put into, I think it's going to end up being line 1 that we put the longest, or that we put these cars in. We'll take a look and see what goes where, and we may end up building the trains in a little bit of a strange order, because I've got all the cut lumber, both different styles of it. I've got it all in one line, and one is kind of blocking the other in at the moment, so we'll figure out how these are going to go together when we get to that point. For now, though, I'm just going to take and put the rest of these empty ore wagons into line 1, and we will take that up the line at a later time. Looks like I haven't got the signage put up on this yet. Gotta love not having time to do stuff like that. But yeah, we'll take this. We will actually take this up to this train here. We will take up to the iron ore mine at a later date. mainly because the iron ore mine is inundated right now. We've got well more uh, cars than what we actually need up there. So I think we've got 10 waiting and 26 to load, or 26 loaded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 25, 26 loaded, and we've got 10 waiting. That center line can only hold like 4 cars. Uh, that center line right there can only hold like 4 cars, so I try not to load it whenever possible. Now I can put other empties over in here, but these ore cars love to derail over here, uh, because the curves are just so tight. Uh, I have issues getting cars in and out of that site, in and out of the siding right there too. So I try to not mess with that too much. Um, but for right now, the ore mine is kind of inundated. We're just putting this train together uh, preemptively, because the very next thing that we're going to do with the proceeds that we get, hopefully, from these trains, is we're going to buy the articulated. We need one of those pretty bad, unless I want to send Monty and Mike up the hill running light engine to the iron ore mine to pick up those loaded cars, so we can just take them all up at once. Because these things are actually, you know, for what they are actually the heaviest cars that we have when they're loaded. So each one of these weighs about as much as 2 of those coal cars in terms of load. And that's not, you know, they're not even twice as long as those coal cars. They're 1.5 at most. But they, I mean, metal's heavy. Metal ore is heavy in general. So these guys are quite the hefty load once they are all put into a train. And I know for a fact that if we were to load them all out together, that not only would Johnny not be able to haul them, but neither Mike nor Monty would be able to haul them all at once. So we've got to get them pulled out 5 at a time to put in to the train, and they've got to be pretty well rolling while we Mike and Monty have got to be rolling while we put the train together, basically. Otherwise, we may not make it up the line. That's just how heavy these things are. But we will pull this train as far as the coal mine and set it down so that Mike and Monty can take it the rest of the way. But we can't do that today. We can do it today, but I don't want to. What I want to do is start taking these these loaded trains up to the refinery and the yeah, oil well. See, we'll get those taken care of, and hopefully, if we have time, we'll take care of this stuff. We'll take the loaded ore train up the hill, but I don't think that will be a thing. That may wait for a little while, because I'd like to have the I would very much like to have the articulated up there to take these trains up there. because I'm reasonably sure that articulated can haul 20, 25, or 26, maybe if I'm lucky, even 30 of these ore cars. But for now, that's our first train finished. And before we get rolling here, let's take a look, see what we need to do here. So let's start with our oil well. We need beams. That's okay. That's where they're at. They're on the back side of that train. So we're going to take 5 beams and 5 coal over there. We don't have any cordwood, but we don't need any. That's just a wood rick. So it's full. It loads itself. So we'll take 5 coal and 5 beams for now. And the beams are on the back side of that second line, so we can pick those up first, pick up the coal, and put them all into one train. And I figure what we can do is we can run all of these. I don't want to run these with with Lucky. He's just way too top heavy for anything more than yard work. Even that's sketchy, but a little further. But I figure what we can do is we can take, and I've already tested this out offline, we can take Eleonora up the branch line here. As far as that goes. And actually, I might leave the refinery for a later time, because I'm going to put something in over here that it's going to take a little bit of work to do, but I'm going to put something in over here that I have actually put on the new map that I'm going to be running in Season 3. And I want to find out if it will work, if it will actually work here on this map. And I will show you how it will work in a later episode. So, how many of these do I actually have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So we've got enough to do a couple of trains. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep. So yeah, I'm going to actually leave the refinery for a later time, because we're going to have a special car load for that. And with that being the case, it would probably actually be a good idea to pull those empties up and work on that today. That'll give us. Okay, sorry, I thought I was only seeing 4 cars there. That'll give us a good run, and we can take care of all of that. But yeah, I want to definitely get that. I want to do the oil well and the refinery all together, and for that I want to have a few more of these cars. So we're going to put those in with this train. These are going to the oil well. So these are actually going to go onto line 2. Yeah, they're going to go onto line 2 for now. So we'll put those empties at the very head of the train so that, or no. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I remember last time we tried to put empties on the front of a train. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to pull back up, and we're going to grab those and just go. So these are actually going up to the oil well. So we're going to grab 5 of these for right now. And when we get another 5, I will take those up as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to have to disconnect them all. Okay, that's no big deal. I put them all pretty close together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep. Okay. So it looks like we've actually got 9. So that's pretty cool. It won't take long to get another one. In fact, yeah, we don't have enough. Okay. So we'll get this dropped in line 2, and we'll go and pick up the coal and get rolling. Get rolling. 5, 1, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So these are the coffin tankers that I was talking about earlier, and that's pretty well what they look like. I don't know if these are, or I don't know if these have more or less capacity than the other tankers, but I figure we could use these for the crude and use. Well, we'll probably end up using both of them for the crude oil, but these seem to be, for right now, the better option, mainly because they were cheaper. But we'll see. We'll probably have 50 of each once we get done, so there'll be plenty up there. So let's go ahead and get rolling here. That on line 2. And I'm actually going to open up the rest of those switches. So, done, done, done. Okay. We're just going to work line by line here. And I'm going to ride this car back because we've only got the caboose and you can't see very much from 10 cars away. But yeah, like I was going to say, we will take Eleonora out, and we'll take that load of empty ore cars as far as the coal mine and drop it there. We can also take the we can also come back and take the other car or other train that we're going to build for that up there as well. The beams and the coal, we'll take that up there as well, but it's going to be on a different, well, no, we could put it on that train too, because we're only taking 5 of the coal up there. Whoa, wrong one. Oh, this is going to be rough. Bonk. Phew. That was lucky. Lucky's living up to his name this time. We didn't just crush everything. That would have been, well, it would have been funny, but it would have been bad. Alright, so there we are. Let's go ahead and uncouple here, and we'll go and get the coal cars that we need. And we're going to do this Let's see. I need beams for up there. Helps if I zoom out far enough to know what I need. We need beams up there and planks there. And then we don't need coal, so that'll be alright. We can do that. We'll grab a thing of 10 beams and 5 coal. And we'll put the coal in behind the beams so there's no chance of it catching fire. Even though they don't depict that in this game, it's still a good practice to not have the coal immediately behind the locomotive. Unless it's in the tender, which in this case it's not. So let's pick up our coal first. Yes, let's pick up our coal first. Oh, wait a minute. I screwed up. I screwed up. I forgot to set that switch. I just saw it as I was coming up to it. Get backed off that switch and set it where we need it. And we're going to pick up our coal first. And then we'll come down here and pick up 5 beams. And I think, well, yeah, we'll pull that train down a little ways. Because I know we've got well more than what we need in terms of beams to make up our train. So we may just pick up the 5 coal and the rest of the beams to round out that portion of the maneuver. Okay. So I'm going to count back. Oops. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once this gets past the switch, I will, preferably going in the opposite direction, I will decouple and call it good. And I'm actually not going to pull all the way out in order to decouple this car. So we'll go to right about there, just let it roll. Turn my lamp on. 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's going to keep us from having to go too very far to hook up next time. But we will take and yeah. We will take that back and connect up to the lumber train that's sitting over there. And then pull it back. And we'll make things work. Now, I'm not going to cut this time, despite the fact that it is so dark. I'm not going to cut this time because I want you guys to at least have something to watch. We're not doing the same thing over and over and over again. Not really, anyway. But, you know, that is what it is. What we're going to do is we're going to take the beams here and we're going to take 5 off for the we're going to take 5 off for the coal mine, and we're going to take 5 off for, I want to say, the oil refinery. Let's just take a look here real quick. Now the oil well is the one that needs it. Okay. Oil well, not the refinery. The refinery takes the planks. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So does what does the lumber or the coal mine take? Okay. So we'll take those and get those sorted into their proper trains, and it should leave us with 4 left. All right. That should leave us with 4 uh, beam car or 4 loads of beams left. And those we will send up to the iron ore mine in a separate train. Now, the reason I'm saying separate train is because we've still got plenty of product up there to load cars. We could probably send it up with the empty ore cars. That wouldn't be too big of an issue. But I want to make it something of a reasonable load of lumber, because that industry actually takes both types of lumber. So we're going to stop right about here-ish, hopefully, soon. Yeah. And I'm going to run down real quick and unhook everything. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. The only reason I really cut is because that lantern flashes up into the screen, and I didn't want to have to put a seizure warning on this video. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. But what? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we got 9. Okay, so we are not going to get what we need. Yeah, that's right, because we've only got the 1 train put together thus far, don't we? We've got 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's gonna. Yeah. Okay. I know what I got an idea what I'm doing now. I was right the first time. So we're gonna have 5 on 1 train, 4 on another, and that'll give us a start. So what I'm gonna do once we get down here is I am going to put the 4 cars that we'll have extra. I'm going to put them on line. I'm going to put them on I think line 4. So we've got. Yeah, I'm going to put them on line 4 for now, I think. So they're going up to the iron ore mine. So line 1, no, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 1. Okay, so I actually need to put them on line 5. Easy enough. So we'll put them on line 5. And we will put the rest of this on line or we'll put the rest of the lumber on line 3. And somehow I've managed to completely botch what I was initially trying to do, but oh well. It'll be right when it all gets done. No big deal. I'll make it right, even if it looks a little weird to start. Okay, so I'm actually going to fly back there and uncouple these last 4. And then figure out, I'm going to get a bird's eye view and figure out what I need to do here to make this right. So that's going to the oil well. Which needs beams and coal. Okay. Well, it's fine. All right, well, I think I've pretty well botched that, so we'll put the coal for the next train in the correct position, and we'll make it right. Because if I'm not mistaken, we need boxcars up here. I think we need boxcars up there. I could be wrong. Let's go into the buy menu real quick, because that's about the only way it's going to tell me. Oh, nope, we need the bulkhead cars. Yep, we need the bulkhead cars. Okay. And I think we've got some over here. No, we do not. Okay. So we're actually going to need more of those. No big deal. That's not going to go up today. That's fine. So we can actually put this. Okay. So we can put the coal in on line 2. We're going to need some more bulkhead cars, which will bring down with the we'll bring those back down with Mike and Monty when we take the empty ore cars up. So that'll be a thing. So I want line 3 because these are going to the ironworks. I forgot about the ironworks needing coal. The ironworks is going to need coal, so that's going to go, these are all going to go together. And I'm looking at my record time, and I know how long it's going to take to get up to the smelter with the train that we're building for that. And I'm thinking we may not end up with our full run. We may not end up with all of these trains getting delivered today. We may not even end up with one getting delivered today, but we'll get there in the end. We will, however, be doing the empties as far as the iron ore mine. And we will take the loaded iron ore wagons up today. I will make an exception in my recording for that. So these are going to the ironworks. I've got plenty of box cars and flat cars up there, so we don't need to add any of those into that train. We do, however, need to add in, I believe, is some planks. Yes. So we'll actually take, I believe I've got 10, so we'll take yeah, we'll just take those by themselves and put them into lines 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, excuse me. But we're going to grab some more coal in order to do that. So we're actually going to grab the coal last and correct our mistake from the previous train. I think. Unless I just did that all backwards. Okay. Let's zoom back in here. That switched. We want our coal. No. We're on the right track. Alright. I'm going to throttle that down a little bit, and I'm going to refuel the locomotive here. There we go. And we will pick up our planks here. I think we've got 11 cars, so whatever we've got extra, like I said, we'll stick in that other siding for right now. We've either got 11 or 12. I'm not going to bother counting them right now. We'll count them out when we get there. But we're building 2 trains out of this and giving an extra or 2 to the train that's going up to the iron ore mine. The lumber train that's going up to the iron ore mine, I should say. Now, like I said, this is going to be a little bit longer of a video. We're going to get these coal trains put together, or these trains put together, and we're going to have all the coal that we need for them. So we're going to pick up our coal here real quick, and I think we're doing 2 different trains here that still need coal. So we'll pick up 10 of these, I think, for now. I know it all worked out to where we had 5 extras, so I'm going to see where we end up. There we go. So I'll pick up 10 of these for now, and we'll see where we end up. So I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back, and I didn't pull those forward before I unhooked them, but that's alright. We'll make it happen, and we'll get these trains built. So let's double count. 1, whoops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a problem. Well, I guess we're going to pull them down anyway. Oh, my luck sometimes. I thought I had them counted correctly. I didn't. So, why did it jump clear down there? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we will ride this one back until we get stopped, and then I'll unhook it. And we'll go and finish our trains. So, we have, yes, And so that one needs coal, I think. Yep, that one needs coal. That one needs coal. Yep. We're getting there. We are getting there. And the lag on this is unbelievable. This is a long train that we're connected to at the moment. But that's all right because we won't be connected to it for very long. And I'm reasonably sure that lag will go away. So I'm actually going to fly over here and count them out again. Let's make sure. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And when I get this disconnected, we'll get back in. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Let's fly back down here real quick and make our way back. That is quite the load here that Lucky's pulling. So we've got 2 trains right now that need coal. I think. Yeah, we've got 2 trains that need coal. One that has coal, so we've got that one needs coal, that one needs coal, and then I think the rest of it's going to end up going. No, that's not it. Yeah, we're going to have some going up there too, up to the smelter. And I think we'll probably end up putting 10 up there. Depends on what we've got left because we've just about got our trains built now. So we're basically utilizing this reversing line right here the way it was intended to be used, which is a pretty good example of how it would be used with multiplayer as well. Okay, so I want, let's see, do I want line 2? Yes. So we will do line 2 first. Drop 5 there. Now each of these coal cars only carries 10 units of coal, which is only about half of what the coal tipples actually need in order to be full on the output side. And thankfully, with the fuel use setting that I've got right now, I can get those filled up and completely full long before any of these trains are going to need more coal. So that's a pretty good deal there. Wait a minute. Why am I on line 1? That's not the switch I opened up. Is it? Huh, I thought I opened line 2. Oh well. Maybe I was looking at line 3 thinking it was a different line. But we'll get this right here. So 5 for line 2, 5 for line 4, I think. I think line 3's already got some on it. All right. While that skids to a stop, we're going to reverse everything and get moving in the right direction again. There we go. But yeah, like I said, I will make an exception for my record time today. I'm not pressed for time today like I have been for the last several weeks. So we'll do a little bit longer of a video here. It'll probably still have a fair few cuts in it, but it'll still be about 2, maybe 3 hours long. It just depends on where the edit ends up being. But ultimately, we are going to get all of these trains built today. That's a definite. Okay, so this is going to have... So this one's not going to get hauled today either. We're going to have to put some stake cars on it. So we're going to end up bringing those back down when we get to that point. Just to make sure that this train is complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One, two, three, 4, and 5. Yes. Good. So this train, we're going to dump 10 of these cars. And I think put the rest in... Oop, wrong direction. Hopefully I didn't just reconnect everything. One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay, we're good. Yep. I think we're going to disconnect 10 of these cars. Let's just make sure here. Because I know we're going to the oil refinery with 5 of them. And we're going to the ironworks with 5 of them. No, we are not. The ironworks is full, so we can drop all 10 of the... Or we can drop 10 of them to the refinery. But we need to get the coal cars out of here. First. First. So they need to go on to line 4. Which we can actually open up right now as we're sliding back. Boom, just like that. And we'll close off 2. Oh, wrong direction. There we go. All right. So we'll put the coal into line 4, and we will come back and drop these 10, or drop 10 of these in back in line 2. And that will more than satisfy the refinery industry. Because there are 6 units of planks on each stake car. So that'll be perfectly fine. Oh no, not line 2. We're just going to dump them all here on line 4. I know what I'm wanting to do, and it's not quite connecting with what I am doing. So we're going to dump all 5 of these Yeah, we're going to dump all 5 of these coal cars and 10 of the state cars here. And then whatever we've got left, we're going to put on line 5. And you can start to see how this is going to look like a proper uh, freight yard here soon. So, let's see. I can see it from back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we'll have 1 left. All right. That's just all the cars I had available to me for the time, which is kind of why we need some more. But you can start to see, you know, how the you can start to see how that's going to start looking like a proper freight yard soon, and you can see why we need so much rolling stock for what we're doing. So let's go ahead and put this one in line 5. And I'm going to take a look and see how much more coal we've got, because I think that a good amount of that coal is supposed to go up to, I don't think it's nearly that much though. Like I said, I had it figured that we were right at 5 cars left for down here at this coal tipple. And I've been recording long enough now throughout the day that I have forgotten my plans, so bonk. Let's go ahead and detach that one. Okay, so we had 50 cars available. Let's see. Zoom in here so we can move around the map. We got 5 going up here. We got 10 going over here. Or vice versa, I don't know which yet. 5 staying here, so that's 20. We have 5 going over here. So that's 25. 30. Yeah. Over here. Oh. 35. So we may do a trip down there. That one's fine. Mm. 40. And yeah. Okay, so that's how I ended up with that. So we will do a train of 10. So we are going to need six trains. So we'll do just straight up 10 over on line 6. And that should get us our 5 remaining. Although there seems to be quite a few more there. So we'll see how many more we've got. And adjust accordingly. Okay. Too much about being just that little bit over. All right, so yeah, that's way more than 10. Oh, geez. Somewhere my math's off. I know we've got 50 cars. We leave 5 down here, which gives us 45 overall. But how many do we have left? We've got 20. That's not too big of a discrepancy because I'm missing 5 somewhere. And it may just be going to the ironworks, which we can put that in, no problem. Alright. So let's see how many we've got. I'll get that counted up, and I will be back when the sun comes back up. Alrighty, I am back. It's not quite sun up yet in game, but I did figure out what I was doing wrong, so we're gonna go ahead and just finish building out these trains. And what I did wrong is I was repetitively not counting either the sawmill, which does have a coal tipple at it, or the ironworks. At present, we are 2.5 hours into this recording, and I'm figuring on doing maybe another hour and a half for it, so that we can get up to the smelter with the full complement of iron ore. And like I said, I've been recording for more than 5 hours now. So yeah, it's been a minute and I'm a little bit tired. And it looks like we're going to finish this all off in a dust storm. Thankfully, I know what I'm doing and what I want to do. And they are, for once, the same thing. So we're going to put 5 of these cars down here on line 6. And that's going to be our coal train to the sawmill. That's going to be all there is to it. And as far as that goes, that one in particular can sit until we have a full complement to fill up the output side of the tipple, which we'll only need 5 more, and we can get that easy enough. We can get that finished off easy enough. The rest of these we're going to split between I want to say the refinery and the smelter, but I know that's not the case. I'm forgetting something again. But it's all going to work out. And if my plan is correct here, which I think it should be, this should give us what we need. So I'll wait. I just brought up the map, and I was about to, but we're getting pretty close to the end of this sighting here, and I'll wait till we get stopped here to run over it with you. Because, wait a minute. Are we on the wrong line? Seriously? Dang it. That's what I hate about these sandstorms. You can't see anything. Alright. Well, while we're in the process of backing up, we're going to leave 5 here. We've got the refinery covered. We've got the oil field covered. We've got the meat packing plant covered. I'm just going to hover over the water well. We've got the top station covered. We do not have the ironworks covered. We need to take some there. So 5, 10, and then 15, because we've got a coal tipple over here, and then 20. So I've got 15 cars right now, and since we only need to take 5 up to the sawmill, that's going to be a train in and of itself, and it's going to wait until we actually have the full 10 before we take it. So I'm going to build that in line 6, which I thought I was actually pulling into. Because line 5 is going to the iron ore mine. Oh, that's nice. Did I just completely miss line 6? Nope, I didn't. Okay. There we go. So we're going to bring these 5 down here, and this delivery will wait for a later time. But we're going to take and we're going to drop 10 for the train going to the smelter. Or drop 5 rather for the train going to the smelter. And 5 for the train going up to the iron ore mine. That'll give us our 15 here. I've just got to remember which is which is which. Yeah, we could probably just leave 10 here. Why don't we do that? I'll make it work one way or another. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will make this work one way or another. Forgive me for going over this over and over and over again. Towards the end of this episode here, I have I have overthought this quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. Now we're going to take these 5 and we're going to put them over with the empty iron ore cars. I know what I want to say. Whether or not I'm able to say it is another story, but I know what I want to say. Put these in with the empty iron ore cars and take these up to the smelter. And that will give us our 5 remaining for down here. So we need line 1. I really do not like these sandstorms. The new map, however, as of right now, has not given me a sandstorm. But being that it is the desert, I can easily see it actually giving us a sandstorm. And yes, I just gave that away. I'm still not giving away the name of the map, or the name of the railway that's on that map that I'm working on. That's going to be for the introduction to Season 3. So we've got the majority of our trains built up, and I was not expecting 6 separate trains for that amount of time. In truth, I didn't figure we'd get that much done. But we're going to keep going here because we are going to... well, first off, I'm going to deliver these 5 cars to the coal tipple down here. And we're going to drop these. We're not going to... we're not going to send them back up the line. We're just going to drop them. And we're going to drop them in behind the coal tipple, right where that line is. And then we're gonna head on up the mountain with the empty ore wagons. Get my switch set here. I think it's that one. going to head up with the empty ore wagons and the coal for the smelter. And we'll take these coal cars and get them taken. I'll take these back up offline. I'm recording this on Thursday. You guys are going to see it on a Monday, so I've got a few days that I can tool around with this in between recordings. Finally. But yeah. Now, basically, these coal tipples act like any other industry. They're basically just a transfer, though. They transfer the inbound to the outbound. So it's basically it. I mean, it's real easy. It's just the same as always. We'll go a little bit further here. And we're going to unload right here. And it unloads fairly quick. You can already move back. Oops. Now you're going to see this number start going back down. Well, it's filling up on the other side. The solid bar there that's right in the middle of the scaffolding for the tipple, that's actually the conveyor belt. That's what's taking everything up the that's what's taking everything up to the output side. Oops. So we've got 50 units here, and it's going to take every one of them. And then I'll show you on the map when this gets done, or when we get done unloading here. Because it'll probably be done right about the time we get this last one unloaded. And everything moved back. So that actually works out pretty well for 5 cars. This was one of the first things that I put down in this map, and I had no frame of reference for how long these coal cars were going to be. So the fact that it worked out just that well is really nice. So we're going to back these up right to the bumper stop. All right. So I'm going to disconnect those. And like with the cordwood at the beginning of this map, what I can do is actually store everything over in that little yard area on the other side. Okay, it's not moving. Yeah, I can store everything over in this little yard area on these 4 tracks when it comes to it, and that will give us 15 coal cars that we can use, or that we can have stored, plus the 5 or 6 coal, a minimum of 15 coal cars and 5 or 6 cordwood cars when we get to that point. We can actually start building our stock over here for the dedicated trains that are going to be over here. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. That's going to be for when we start building up the inventory. So those are going to sit there for now. We're going to put Lucky away, and we're going to grab Eleonora. And we're going to take those empties up to the iron ore mine and get ourselves a loaded iron ore train and see how much we make off of that. We should have a pretty decent haul just from those 5 coal cars. Should be about $500. Oh, about 1,500. So that's pretty good. I had a little over 500 to begin with, so it's just shy of 1,500. So that's good. And I know that iron ore is going to cost, or is going to pay out a hefty bundle, considering there's 26 cars. We're going to take 25 of them. We're going to keep it in an even spread so that we have 25 up, 25 down at the smelter and the iron ore mine. So let's get that set up. Sorry about my voice. I've been talking now for, like I said, about 5.5, 6 hours, so it's a little wore out, a little fried. So we'll go ahead and bring Eleanor out, and apparently it did not reload the firebox, so we will take care of that before we set off. In fact, I'll do that right now, because we'll know we'll at least need that much to get us to the no, we need to be turned around the other direction. That'll at least get us to the ironworks. So with my time now reaching 3 hours almost on the dot, I am going to stop and restart this recording, because I'm only allotted 4 hours. My computer won't go any further for some reason. It won't let me record any longer than that. So once we get to the ironworks, I am going to stop this recording and restart it. You guys won't even notice. It'll just be a simple matter of pushing a couple of buttons. But we will get there fairly quickly. And I'm actually going to run out on the main line to do this, or to get around. So I'm going to go ahead and set my switches to start with. And all but that one is set, so we're golden. And I know for a fact that Eleanor's got enough water to get there. I think Mike and Monty might have enough water, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If they do not, and I need to water them, that will be taken care of. In the time that I am not recording. But other than that, nothing else is going to happen. So we are going for line 1. And we are almost out of steam here, but that's okay. We should start building pressure here pretty quick. Or at the very least, stabilizing. So we'll go ahead and let off the regulator there, and we start building pressure almost immediately because we were just at boiling when I did that. And we'll go ahead and back up on line 1. It's ultimately the one we want. That didn't take long to build pressure, did it? We just barely stopped moving when the safety valve went off. Okay. Now, when we get hooked up, I will go back and I will turn the lights on in the caboose. As far as I'm concerned, none of these others are ready to go yet. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I'm going to run down real quick and light up the caboose, and we will get rolling. All right, so let's go ahead and get our switches set while we start out here. And we are going onto the main line. We want the northbound line, and we are going to bypass the sawmill. We are going to, yeah, we'll run the, no, we'll actually go directly into the yard, and we'll run the bypass, whoops, we'll run the bypass for the yard. We won't, no we won't, because I forgot we've got a drop line up there. Yeah, we've got these drop lines up here, which is what they're intended for. So we'll go onto the innermost drop line for the northbound end. And that should take us, oh, a few minutes anyway. So I am going to go ahead, since we're just going to this, we're just going up to this, just going up to the ironworks. I'm going to go ahead and go into silent running, and I will be back once we have Monty and Mike hooked up. Alrighty, I am back, and I'm going to go ahead and uncouple from the train here and run Eleanor back around to the roundhouse for her return trip. Now, the cars should stay put. I would hope they do. So, go ahead and set our switches here real quick. There we go. Once I get clear of these switches, I will get everything set right here. Go ahead and go around the bypass. Yep, that'll work. Okay. So we can actually run 20% regular, 20% reverser. Is it? Oop! Ow! I just snagged my cord for my headphones. And that would have been bad if that had come undone. We'll actually get up to tops, or get up to our full speed, which is 20% reverser. It'll just take a little bit longer. But even empty, I could tell you without the shadow of a doubt that this train would not, if Eleanor would have tried to pull it up the mountain, the locomotive would not have been able to do it. Because even empty, this locomotive was just barely able to maintain 20 mile an hour, and our top speed is almost 25. So Mike and Monty are definitely necessity for this run. So we'll go ahead and put Eleonora into the roundhouse. We'll have to turn her around completely to do so. So before I do that, I will go ahead and stop the recording, and we will get Eleanor put away and Mike and Monty pulled out so that they can be readied for the trip up to the smelter. I know what I want to say. All right, I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back, and we're just pulling Mike and Monty out of the roundhouse now. Both of them, thankfully, still had full tanks of water, and I've able to manage the coal well enough. And Mike here, he didn't reload immediately like Monty did when uh, when I pulled him out of the roundhouse. So he's kind of running on low coal over here in the gauge, but that's all right. He's got a full tender, so it's no problem. And we will get these two locomotives hooked up in very short order. So let's go ahead. Roll one here. Hearing these two running together is always so nice. It's such a different sound. And I absolutely love how that was programmed into the game, because that kind of thing really does happen. Shouldn't have gone that route, but that's okay. Make that work. Set that one right again. That's alright. Now, I've only had the regulator set at 15, so these two can really move when they want to. Wonder how they got back in sync. That usually doesn't happen. At least not in real life, it doesn't happen. Or maybe they're not quite in sync, but they're pretty close. Now, there will be a little bit of work involved once we get up to the iron ore mine. There we go. uh, to get the cars put in to the sidings where they need to be. I'm going to go ahead and set my switches now so we don't have to worry about it later. But basically what's going to happen is Johnny's going to have to take them five at a time in order to make it possible for him to get these all put in where they need to be. But yeah, we're going to have to move out the loaded cars and move these in just a certain way as we can get the loaded cars backed in right behind the coal cars. And I still don't know if even these two are going to be enough motive power to get up the hill with the 25 loaded iron ore cars. But I can guarantee you they're not going to have any problems getting up here with most of the train being empty. I'm going to set these back right for later. There we go. Put another shovel full of coal in here. There we go. They are really moving. I think we're about as fast as we can go here. So in all honesty, I kind of started them off a little slower than I should have, mainly because I wanted to get another clip for the Season 3 intro. I don't have very much of these guys yet this season. Still going to be plenty of time to do it. Let's hope we don't have someone fly off the rails here. These guys seem fairly stable. But I know my track work on this map was not exactly the best. A little bumpy there. I think 20, 25 is pretty good speed up here. I don't think we've lost anything yet. We haven't. Not quite yet. Thankfully. They're just far enough out of sync you can still hear them as two individual locomotives. You don't have that phantom third one there. Check to see that we still got everything. We do. It's always really nice seeing them come across, seeing a train come across this great big bridge that we've got here. I don't know that we're going to have something this big in the next map. Everything's pretty well flat ground unless I deliberately elevate something. Oh, by the way, if you guys that watch this video watch my other videos that I upload, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys watch them, because I don't know that there's any cross traffic between the videos. I don't know that there's any. I don't know that anybody that subscribed is interested in anything other than what they subscribed in. So yeah, let me know if you guys watch the other videos or not. I'd be very interested to know, because that kind of metric is not in the analytics on YouTube. So we're getting close to coming up here to the top of the first hill here. We're not quite to the top of the actual hill here, but we're getting pretty close. And I'm going to let them slow themselves down, and hopefully we stop with the caboose just past the three-way switch here. That's the ultimate goal, is to have it just past this three-way switch right up here, and that way we can have a very easy time of getting the trains switched out with the loaded ones. All right. Oops. So let's come up here. Okay, we're good. I just needed to make sure, because the sound cut out right. Sound for the locomotives cut out right as we were getting stopped. So I'm going to pull Johnny out, and hopefully his tank is full of water. I filled him up before I put him away. It's almost full, about half. See, I did fill it up. I did fill him up before I put him away, so that should tell you something. Looks like we're going to have to refuel him here before too long. But that's all right. So, let's get our switches set. And we're going to have to pull into the switchback configuration, so it looks like everything's good. At least for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull all of the loaded wagons, all the loaded cars you can see there. I'm going to pull them out with the exception of one, because now we've got them all up here. I'm going to pull all of them out with the exception of one, and we're going to put them on the loop line, which is the main line that goes right by the iron ore mine itself. We're going to put them all on that line. And then we're going to snake them around, set the brake, and we're going to put the caboose in behind them so that Mike and Monty can just back down on it and leave. Now it's going to be a little bit convoluted to do that, but we will make it work. And hopefully we don't have any massive derailments while we're doing that, because this specific portion of the line where we're at right now, those iron ore cars love to derail. The curves are just so tight. That's one reason, that's the biggest reason why the whole first season, when I was building all of this, I said I did not want to do 30-meter radius. And that's pretty well what all of this is 30 and 40-meter radius. There's nothing very much looser than that, very much longer. So we'll swap that back over. So now that the loop is complete, we can just go over and start pulling cars. And hopefully, well, we should be just past that. Yeah, we're just past that, so we can use that. We can utilize that portion of the line and hopefully not have too much of a problem with just letting them roll on down. Because that's one thing I really don't want to have to deal with, is running them all the way around until we are absolutely ready for them to be over there. Because we just need them to clear this switch and we'll be fine. So we're going to pick up this closest one to us first, or this closest sighting. And you could see when we built these that when we built these, they were exceedingly close together. I think we've only got a few inches on either side that these cars actually clear by, which is why they are set back the way they are from the switch itself. Okay, I've got a brake on somewhere. Yep. There it goes. So, we're going to go ahead and pull each of these out 5 at a time and just let them roll down the hill here. Hopefully, they will roll far enough around that we won't have to worry about them. But that remains to be seen. I know that we've got this trestle right over here to our right that I'm looking at. It does go uphill a little bit, so that's probably where they're going to end up stopping. But if that's only as far as they go, that's fine. My concern is them actually staying on the rails. I know if they're pretty well free rolling, the tension on the couplers won't cause them to just fly off the rails, which is a massively recurring problem here on this portion of the, or in this yard, I should say. It's not on the line, technically. Alright, so let's get this switched around before he runs too far down the hill and can't get stopped. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem. Okay. See, he can just barely manage 5. 6 is too many. So we've got our line switched. we're going to give this a good rolling start, and then we're going to uncouple and we're going to swap the switch over. So I actually want to uncouple now so that we can just stop when we need to. We want to give these a good rolling start, so they all, at least 3 of them have to be on the back side of the hill first. And they'll start picking up speed on their own. So, right about there. Just like that. All right. While those are rolling down, I'll go and get the next set. And we'll do exactly the same thing. And hopefully they keep rolling. That little hump there shouldn't be too much of a break for them. Yeah, they'll keep rolling. If only barely, they'll keep rolling. That's a good thing. As long as they don't roll back, I'm happy. See, they're just going to keep going. Make sure all my switches are set here, and they are. Good. And they're just going to keep rolling around until they stop. They'll probably roll back a little ways, but probably not very much. Definitely not as far as the hump there between the 2 inbound docks. And then we will do the same thing with this set and the next 3, minus 1 car. So we'll go ahead and start putting our brakes on right here. Get our switch set. That looks like they came to a stop right about the midpoint, so that's good. All right, so we're going to watch these again. Turn that out for the time being so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, and we can go ahead and uncouple those. And these should have just enough momentum to couple up with the other 5. And we'll go and get set number 3. So you can see they're still rolling, which is a good sign. And like I said, hopefully they'll match up with set number 3, and we won't, or set number 1, and we won't have to worry too much about very much rollback. Let's see what they do. Okay, they've met up. Let's see. Awesome. They're going forward. Good. It gives me a little bit of hope that this next set will do the same thing. So they're still kind of moving forward. They're kind of just one set's pushing the next, and they're giving themselves a little bit of momentum all the way around. And it looks like it's raining again, which is no big deal. Go back here to the last car in line. Can't hardly see anything, but we'll get there. I will continue to do this as we go on through the night, and I will get everything set up and taken care of, and I will be right back as soon as the sun comes back up. Alrighty, I am back, and as if on cue, the sun starts coming up right as I get done with the loaded uh, wagons. So right now, I am just getting started on the main train that Mike and Monty have. And basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the caboose down and hook it up, push the loaded train a little further than it has gone. Hopefully I've got enough juice to be able to do it. And hopefully nothing derails. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I was right. Okay. See, that throw is exactly opposite of where I was wanting to go. So it kind of confused me there for a moment. Hopefully this train is not so heavy that I can't move it, and hopefully the caboose being here at the very end when I'm trying to move it doesn't cause any derailments. Alright, let's keep our momentum here. Or try to keep our momentum. As we can see, all of our cars, and I don't know what's in tension and what's not. I'm kind of hoping right now that we can get it pushed far enough without it derailing. But with as tight as these curves are, and you can see they're pretty well maxed out in terms of their turning radius. I'd just like to get them pushed up to the point where Mike and Monty can back those coal cars in and just hook up and go. But I'm sincerely concerned with how tight these curves are that we're going to end up pushing them off the rails. Despite the fact that these actually are not 30-meter radius. The 30-meter radiuses are on the sidings over by the locomotive shed, but still I have issues. Oops. I have issues over this set of switches, specifically these two sets of switches, with everything just coming undone. So I'm genuinely hoping that we can make it at least to the end of this next bridge without any derailments and without stalling out. Because Mike and Monty are a bit over what the radius of this yard can handle in terms of their wheelbase. So looks like Johnny's starting to struggle a bit. And I think that's going to be probably about as far as we get. So let's go ahead and stop there. I'm going to set my reverser back to forward. We're going to set the brake on the caboose. Hopefully that'll be all it needs, but we're going to set this brake as well just to make sure. And just for good measure, we'll set this one. So we got 3 brakes set. If it moves now, it deserves to. So let's go ahead and move forward. And I'm going to stop him right there, and we're going to start releasing those brakes. I want to see how far we can get away, what we can get away with. Got 3 brakes. There it is. So we got 1. All right, we can get away with having just the caboose set. That's good. That's fantastic. So we're going to go and start getting those. We're going to start getting those other cars and putting them in the sidings. We're not gonna be able to load them right now. For one, we don't have enough. We definitely don't have enough goods out to, or we don't have enough product to load all of them. And I don't feel like being here for another 3 hours trying to get them all loaded. So we're going to pull 5 of them at a time. And hopefully it will not take forever. And actually, it shouldn't take as long because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my switches set right off the bat. So, bonk. And we're already set there for our first rake. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I will double count these to make sure. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see they're pushing because I didn't have the brake on. They are actually pushing Johnny down the hill. So we're actually going to be able to get these moving fairly quickly in comparison to the loaded cars. Let's get our switch set here. There we go. And we'll go ahead and detach them. Get back in. And they should just roll right on down. If they don't, I'm not going to be a very happy camper. But they should. They should start picking up a little bit of speed. There they go. All right. So I'm going to go pick up the next batch while I'm waiting on those to go over the hill. Because once they get down the bottom of the hill, I can swap the switch for the next line. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think that's it right there. Okay. Yeah, we'll count it again. If I'm short, I'll just hook back up and pick up another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're back to the locomotive. And you could see just there in the background. If you did, you did. If not, you probably could. You probably should have. We now have our first line of cars. So I'm going to go ahead and set the switch, and we're going to move forward and do it again. So this is actually a lot easier. Admittedly, this is a lot easier, whoops, than the way I had been doing it. So that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys rolling here. I'm going to disconnect from them while we're rolling. We'll just throw them up the hill a little ways. And they should have enough, because I stopped in the same place, they should have enough momentum to get up over that hill. And it looks like they do. Fantastic. But you can see them rolling down just there in the background. And they should come to a fairly abrupt stop at the end of the line. So we'll sit there and watch them for a second. But that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the idea as to how to do that. You should be able to stop just right even with the others. Bonk. There they go. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. What? Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I did. Okay. That's all right. It's perfectly fine. I will take care of that later. That's not a issue at all. Because we've got the other 10 sitting over there, and we've got 6 in one siding. So that does not need to be a thing. And we'll bring these up and get them put into their siding, and we'll get Johnny put away. Hopefully, we won't need him again. Okay, I didn't derail it. I didn't see until I'd switched it. I didn't see until I'd switched it that that back car, that very last car, was actually uh, on the switch itself. Are they going to make it up the hill? Yes. Barely, I think. No. Dang it. I was hoping. We'll go and give him another nudge. Just give him another nudge into the yard here. There we go. And we'll take Johnny around the front side and put him back in his siding or in his shed. And we'll go and get Monty and Mike and Monty. So there we go. And they are already in their siding. Good. Fantastic. No derailments. No questionable movements. Fantastic. That's perfect. That's what I wanted to see. And switch it so we can just back Mike and Monty down. And hopefully we can pull these guys out of here. And I will put water and firewood into Johnny's bunker and boiler off camera. We'll do that. I'll do that off camera. So let's come back up here and grab throttle here. Start back down the mountain. Just far enough to be able to pick them up. Now, pay attention to the weight over here in the center of the screen, because I was not exaggerating. These iron ore cars that we're getting ready to pick up are twice the weight of these. Are twice the weight, if not more so, than the coal cars. Now, granted, they've got more than twice the number of units, but not all the units weigh the same. Because these coal cars are actually a little bit lighter, I think, than the flat cars that are loaded with wood or loaded with lumber. Logs. That's what I want to say. Lord. So I'll show you this real quick. 10,000 kilogram or 22,046 pounds versus 22,000 kilogram or 48,501 pounds. So it's more than double. That said, of course, there's more than double the amount of cargo in them, but that's kind of irrelevant. So we're going to come over here and let the brake off of the caboose here. Whoops. And run all the way back to the front of the train. Now, hopefully, with these being lighter, they are not pulled off of the rails by the torque of these two locomotives. That would be insanely bad. But I know they've got the power to pull this up here. It's just a matter of doing it and not pulling them all off the rails. That was a waste. So we're just going to take our sweet time coming through here because we've got all of these that we've got to pull up here. We've got to pull them all up very easily, very gently, so that we do not rip them off of the rails. And then once we get rolling here, we'll be all right. Once we get past the danger. I'm concerned with the transition more than anything between right and left, because something like this just wants to go in a straight line. I mean, that's just physics. Hopefully these two can get it moving up the hill a little bit. And I'm in no hurry, so I'm not going to increase the regulator at all. They're moving, so we should be good on that. As long as we don't pull anything off, we're fine. It's going to take a little while, but I think we're okay. There we go. I'll increase the regulator that much. Because ultimately right now, until Mike starts building steam, it's Monty doing all the work. But we're almost past the worst part of it. After that, hopefully we can start building speed. We're still moving. We're past the really bad, really unnerving part. Now we just got to get them moved the rest of the way. We're still crawling. Monty's boiler pressure's still building slowly. Or Mike's, rather. I can give them both another shovel full of coal here. It's going to take us a little while to get to the top. Oh, the joys of being on single player mode. That works, doesn't it? All right, so we should be able to start picking up speed here before too long. Provided, of course, they can even get started. Hopefully they've got enough power to get up the hill. Looks like we're actually starting to build a little bit of speed now from the relative crawl that we had going. So that's a good sign. Give them a little bit more throttle. I'm still mildly concerned about this portion of the rail, of the train rather, because we're still pretty tight on this curve. But it does look like we're going to get through. And unfortunately, there is zero warning uh, when these cars start to come off. There is zero warning. They just all of a sudden, when they decide they're going to uh, come off the rails in this portion of the map, they just do. There's no warning at all. So I think we've got it. I think we'll be okay from here. I've just got to make sure that we can keep building speed. And I've got to keep checking to make sure we don't pull them off the rails at any other point. Yeah, now we're starting to pick up speed. We're at 5 mile an hour now. Yeah, we've got this. The locomotives have got this. Easy. It'll be a slow trek up the hill, but they've got it. They're done. They're on the move with no worries. Okay, now that that caboose has cleared that last switch, I'm gonna set that back. Actually, I'm gonna leave it, and we'll switch this so that we can head on down the line. So it'll be probably quite a slow climb. Looks like we're losing a little bit of speed again. I don't know where our pressure point is, but this is why I wanted the yeah, this is why I wanted the articulated locomotive. Oh, please tell me that 2's going to be enough. I've got the regulator wide open. If 2's not enough, I'm going to have to figure something out. Because we're still slowing down. Maybe we'll get lucky here? I don't know. If I have to movie magic another locomotive up here, I probably can, but shouldn't have to. We should be able to haul these up here with virtually no problems. But clearly we're having problems. All right, I will be I was going to say I will be back when it looks like we're not going to get up the hill, but it looks like we're not going to get up the hill now. So I'll stick here until they either give up or start picking up speed again. Because it looks fairly steady. It may just be a slow freight. Well, you talk about a slow freight, man. We're moving at a whopping 2 miles an hour, if even that. So thankfully, we've still not lost any of our cars, which is a good sign. So I'll stick with it a little bit longer, and I'll stick with you guys here for just a little bit longer, and then I will go to silent running and let this monster of a train get up the hill on its own if I can. If not, I will be back with a third locomotive in the mix. Probably a banker bringing up the rear. So we'll see. But for now, I will be right back. Oh, they almost made it. Only about 3/4 of the way left to go. All right. I will go and get another locomotive and figure out what to do now. Because I thought they'd be able to handle that. I really did. All right. I will be. Oops. Let's cut the regulator here. See if we don't roll back. Yes, we do. All right. So they need to stay with the regulator on. All right. I will be right back and we will have another locomotive bringing up the rear. Probably Eleonora, since she's the strongest one we've got at the moment. So, all right. I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back and we have Eleonora on the back of the train. And as the sun comes up here, we will make another venture to get up the mountain. So let's go ahead and take the brake off and see where we end up. It's going to take a little while for translation to come back here. There we go. Helps if I hit the throttle first, doesn't it? Or hit the regulator, turn it off, and then back on. So we should be moving again, and we are. And we should have enough power this time to get up the hill. At least at a couple 3 mile an hour, I would hope. We're still going to have to keep a close eye on the train just to make sure that we're not putting too much tension on it. We're not compressing it too much, that is. We are making about 5 mile an hour now, which is good. You just about hear Mike and Monty in the background as they get ready to start out across the bridge there. Look like we're doing good so far, so I'm going to come back up here. Yeah, these iron ore cars are not light. They're nowhere near as light as other loads. I figure these two had no problem hauling a almost 60 car train up the hill when it was just wood. And now they need a banker locomotive to help them get up with these 30 cars. Which only 25 of them are iron ore. So basically, basically 32, 33 equivalent. So we are now moving at a pretty decent speed. And we're going to start to level off here for a little ways, but that's all right. We can use that speed for momentum because we've got an area up ahead where the grade is a little bit steeper. It's just right after this next curve, this major hairpin that we've got coming up. So we're going to use all the speed we can get. And I'm going to come back here and keep an eye on everything. We can hear them really trying to go. Eleonora's really pushing her heart out, so maybe we can get up to 15 mile an hour and not have to worry about that 2% grade. Hopefully we don't see an explosion of cars as we're coming across this bridge. That'd be bad. Thankfully they didn't model in a loss of cargo. That'd be even worse. You can hear them off in the distance, and they're about drowning out Eleonora. But we've hit 20 mile an hour, so let's see if we can't keep rolling here. That section of steeper grade is just very shortly right up here. I think it's actually just right at the transition here, right as we get off this bridge and onto the embankment. So we're actually gonna lose a lot of our momentum here. This is certainly something you don't see very often, is two locomotives in front, one in back on a narrow gauge line. But I have seen trains coming through my hometown. I have seen as many as 6 locomotives on the front, 3 or 4 in the middle, and 6 in the back. And I kid you not, those trains were stupidly long. Hopefully we don't go down to 0 again. Hopefully we can just keep going. I don't need 4 locomotives on this train. We're definitely earning our penny today. And yeah, the vast majority, right here where this whistle sign is, that's where the I think it's like 1.5 or 2% grade is. So we're almost over it. Not quite, but we're getting close. And I'm going to give these two another shovel full of coal. Turn my lantern off. Well, that was a waste. Let's try that again. Don't fall off the dang thing. Ask and you shall receive, right? Don't fall off, and what do? I fall off. So let's try that again. There we go. Okay. Seems like we're actually making some decent speed, so that's good. Yeah, we're doing about 10 mile an hour. That's pretty good. Considering we still have Eleanor bringing up the rear here, it is pretty good. That's a good sign. We're going to keep rolling here. This isn't quite the trek up the hill that I had in mind, but I guess if it works, right? It's quite the way to end off this episode. I'll tell you what, if the cut is right, this may end up, and you'll know before I do. Okay, you'll be seeing well, I say you'll know before I do. Uh, I'll know probably a day or two from now, from the time of this recording, but you guys will know come Monday afternoon, whether or not this is a two-parter. This might be season two's two-parter. Another one for the supercut bin. Because the trek up this mountain is a is an episode in and of itself. I'm telling you. And here we go with another dust storm. That figures. Okay. In a way, I'm kind of glad that the train stalled out where it did, because I would not have wanted to spend another 3 hours getting to this point. Okay. So we've got loop around. All of our switches are set. We're going in for the longest one, aside from the bypass, which is right there in the middle. There we go. All right. So I don't think that we are going to unload this today, but we are going to get up there by the end of this second recording. So I'll tell you, that was quite the thing. But we definitely need that articulated. So I'm definitely going to see how much we get from this load, and hopefully we can get that articulated locomotive either this episode, or not this episode, but after I get this unloaded, or very soon thereafter. We can have that articulated live up here at the ore mine, the iron ore mine. And not have to worry too much about having a banker on standby. Because that was something that I was not anticipating happen. But leave it to me to bite off more than I can chew. And we are most definitely making way more. We've got way more cargo on here than we can actually haul with these two locomotives. In fact, I'd say almost more than the three of them can handle. And I'll know if we start picking up a lot of speed here real soon before we hit the top of this bridge that something very bad wrong has happened, because we are past the point of being able to swap over onto another line. So if we start suddenly picking up a whole lot of speed before the end of this bridge, something's come off the rails. Mainly for the fact that, and I know that's true, mainly for the fact that right here at the top of this bridge, where these two arches are, that is where everything levels off. So we're going to start picking up speed here real soon. If we start picking up speed before that point, I'm going to get worried. But it looks like everything's going as planned. Almost. Almost. We shouldn't have needed a banker, but we did. I've got the very distinct feeling that if we hadn't had those 5 coal cars on this train, that we probably would have made it up the hill. It would have been slow, but we probably would have made it. That said, I still would not want to push these locomotives that hard. I mean, if 2 can't make it up the hill with that kind of load, I can only hope that the articulated is, at the very least, a good banker locomotive for these 2. But as we finally come up to the top of the hill here, at least the front of the train's up at the top of the hill, I want to thank you guys for joining me here on this episode, whether this be part 1 or part 2. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you think I could have done better. Let me know what you think I could have done differently. I do apologize for my voice. Like I said at the start of this recording, I have been recording for, well, it's currently almost 1 o'clock in the morning now, and I've been recording since about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if that gives you some idea of how long I've been working on the videos for this next week, that means... if this is part 2, that means last week's videos. Yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, leave a comment, of course, like I said. If you want to support the channel, I am always open for more subscriptions. You know, click the subscribe button. I'd love to see you guys here in the channel, and I'd love to see you guys get notified for these videos. If you're not subscribed, I think about 93% of my viewers are not subscribed currently. You know, you're not going to get notified for these videos, and I'd love for you guys to be able to see them all the time, you know, whenever you want. And I'd like for you guys to be able to have that access. On that note, I'm also considering bringing back Patreon before the end of the year. I've about got it wrapped up, about got it finished, but there's a few things left yet to do. Mainly just ironing some extra details out to make sure that nothing's really too outrageous. On that note, though, I want to thank you guys again for joining me here today, and potentially last week as well. If this ends up being a 2-parter, thank you for joining me today and last week. You probably didn't hear me say that. If this ends up being a 2-parter, you didn't hear me say that last week. So I do appreciate it, guys, and I will see you on the next one.